Yeah, so this is Voices from the Field with Katie Lively and Jayden Mount, and today we have Mya Bartlett with us. She is an Idaho State softball commit. She's a class of 2025 infielder. She plays for Little Rebels, Gordy TC, and she was ranked number 78 last year for the Extra Elite 100. So thank you, Mya, for being here. And just to start us off, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, how you got started into softball, and how you got to where you are now.
Yeah, so I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada, and my parents put me into softball when I was just 5 years old. They both played baseball and softball growing up, so they just knew that they had to put me in it. And I've just stuck with it ever since. I started in rec ball, and then I went to travel ball in 12U. And basically, I've just been really diving into the recruitment process ever since 12U started. My coaches were just on top of it, and basically I committed last year in November to Idaho State.
Cool. That's awesome.
Cool.
That's super cool.
Yeah, that's really cool that your coaches were on it, because I feel like a lot of times people get so behind in the recruiting process. So that's really good that your coaches were on the recruiting process.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You kind of said your parents put you into travel ball, but is there anybody that really influenced you growing up to play softball?
It was really just my parents and just like them just showing me college softball. Once I started watching college softball, I just knew that I wanted to continue it and I wanted to play in college myself. So basically just watching all of the college players before me really inspired me.
That's awesome.
So tell us about the balance of your lifestyle. I know that you are very smart. You have great grades. You have to balance school. You have to balance workouts, travel ball, school ball. And then somehow find a social life in the midst of that as well. So tell me a little bit about how you balance your lifestyle and how you stay excellent both on and off the field.
Every day, I just like to kind of create a own schedule for myself. I like to write it down like in my notes app or maybe in a journal or something, just like kind of planning out what I want to do during my day, knowing what time I have school, what time I have practices, and then basically just adding in what times I want to, hang out with friends and have a social life, or when I want to study or work out on myself, kind of just like conditioning and lifting. I just kind of, it's kind of different for everybody, but I kind of go with the flow and kind of just like every day seeing like, what do I want to do at what time and what's going to work best for me.
Yeah.
Kind of going into your recruiting process, kind of take us through that, and just what's your biggest advice to the class that is getting recruited now?
My biggest advice is just getting your name out to as many coaches as possible, emailing constantly, weekly, monthly, to coaches and colleges that you want to go to. And basically just getting a lot of video out of yourself, whether it's game film or practice film, just sending it out, having multiple social media accounts, just trying to get your name out, no matter what. Even if coaches are not responding, somebody will be watching. Coaches are always watching you, no matter what. Like, even if you don't see any coaches at your games, they may be watching on some live stream films, but somebody's always watching. So my best advice is just to be yourself and just be a confident player, and just, try to do your best to get your name out, because that's what's going to help people remember who you are.
I love that. So did you use social media at all? How would you, I know that that's a big thing right now with recruiting. How would you tell someone to get their name out there? Would you tell them to use Twitter or X? Would you tell them to use Instagram? I know you said emails. Kind of give us a little bit of how you would plan, or how you did, plan on getting your name out there to those coaches.
So I used the most was Instagram, Twitter, and also Sports Recruits.
Okay.
Is the website that I went through to email and post my videos. But Twitter, a lot of coaches are on Twitter. I think that definitely helped me. I did start using it towards the end of my recruiting process, but it still was very helpful, getting out videos and just posting as much as possible. Posting your schedules also was a huge thing for me. It's just like always constantly letting people know when you're playing.
Yeah. That's good. Speaking of Idaho State, speaking of committing and going to play college ball, what do you think you're going to bring to that softball program once you step foot on campus next year?
I think I'm going to bring a lot of energy and just a lot of competitiveness. I love to win. I like to do whatever I can possible to help my team out. And I think I'm just going to bring a lot of energy and a lot of leadership because
Yeah.
I always like to take that role in leading my team and helping my teammates out. So I just want to, like help my other teammates and help us grow. And I think it's a very competitive program that they have there at Idaho State. And I'm excited to, break records and help the program grow even more.
One more question for you about Idaho State. Like, what are you most excited for? And it doesn't have to be softball. It can be the football games, anything.
I'm really excited for the weather, and just like the community. The weather in Vegas, I'm in dry heat all the time. It's either really hot or it's really cold. I mean, cold for us is like 70s, but it's cold for us. But I'm just excited to have all 4 seasons there, and I think it's going to be a nice change for me. And just also the community. When I first went there on my official visit last year, the community support for the college was so big, and it just really feels like that you're making a difference in their community, and people support you. And I just loved the small town feel that it had compared to the big city of Las Vegas.
We're just gonna play 2 little fun games. It's called this or that, and I'll just give you 2 options, and you tell me which one you'd rather have.
Okay.
So indoor or outdoor workout?
Indoor.
Yeah. Batting gloves or no batting gloves?
Batting gloves, always.
Conditioning or weightlifting?
Weightlifting.
Yeah. Visor or headband?
Visor.
Gatorade or Powerade?
Gatorade.
Playing in the cold or playing in the heat?
Playing in the heat.
Yeah. Most of the same. Day game or night game?
Night game, for sure.
And then your favorite uniform combo that you're excited to wear at Idaho State?
Ooh, I'm either excited for their all orange uniform or their pinstripes. I'm a huge fan of pinstripes, so I'm excited for all of the uniforms. But yeah, those 2 definitely.
Yeah. I love pinstripes.
Me too. I'm going to ask you a couple hot seat questions. So what's your go-to pump up song or pregame ritual that gets you ready for game day?
Ooh, I don't really have a go-to song, but I always play this playlist that I've created of a bunch of rap songs or like R&B and soul or stuff like that, and I always like to listen to them. I always have my AirPods in, kind of just like keeping to myself. Sometimes they're always asking me like, are you okay? Like I might have a serious face on my face, but I'm just trying to lock in. As soon as I put my uniform on, I'm like in the zone for my games.
I love that.
If you could change one rule in softball to make the game better, what would it be?
I think I would change the drop third strike rule.
Okay.
I think I would get rid of it.
Yeah.
What's the most embarrassing moment you've had on the softball field?
Ooh, I think the most embarrassing moment on the softball field for me is one time I was running the bases. I thought I was gonna hit a triple, and then I tripped right after I ran past second base, and so I had to go back to second base. So I think that was definitely my most embarrassing moment, but it happens to the best of us.
Your mind was running a little bit too fast for your body. Right. What is your favorite post game snack or meal?
Ooh, I think my favorite post-game snack or meal would probably just be any like pasta or sushi. Like I love having like after a long day, just like going out to a restaurant with my family, just like getting a good like carb meal or something like that. Or after practice, I love at night having cereal at home when it's nighttime. I feel like it's always better at night than in the morning.
What kind of cereal do you like? What's like your go-to?
Ooh, I love Honey Bunches of Oats.
Okay.
Or a more sweeter one, I love Reese's Puffs. I'm a Reese's girl, so yeah.
All right, and one more question for you. What is the most unexpected skill or hobby that you have outside of softball?
I also used to be a competitive figure skater. So I also like to figure skate a lot. So yeah, I competed until like my juvenile level. So I was doing double jumps and stuff like that. So that's a skill that I love.
Just have one more question for you, and then we'll cut you loose. If you could invite 3 softball players, past or present, for a night of conversation and advice, who would you want to invite and what would you want to talk about?
I think I'd invite Jocelyn Allo. Jenny Finch,
Okay.
and I would also choose one of the current players at Idaho State that I really look up to, Ava Brown. I would kind of just ask them about, their their advice for how they Jenny Finch was such a pioneer. I feel like for softball, at least for me, she was somebody that I looked up to, especially when I used to be a pitcher. So she was somebody that I looked up to. Jocelyn Allo, she is an amazing power hitter. I would definitely ask her for her advice on her mentality in the box.
Absolutely.
And just Ava Brown, about how she's learned to live in Idaho, and just how the college life is really.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you again for
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Good luck this school ball season, travel ball season, and as you go into Idaho State next fall. So thank you, Mya, again, and I hope you have a good rest of your night.
Yeah,
Thank
you too.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.